Thank you for coming to Alternative Facts. Sorry about the delay in the shows. It's been a little chaotic with a lot of information coming in, so I'm going to try to sum up as much as I can in a short period of time to catch back up to the things I've been telling you I was going to touch on. First of all, one of the things that I wanted to speak about pertaining to the MVP race and the battle between James Harden and Russell Westbrook was one of the biggest complaints that I've been hearing about James Harden's, how do you say, ingenious style of basketball play. It as it goes, he doesn't have to score or shoot a high percentage to still score, 40 or 50 points. Really, a lot like Michael Jordan, because if you go back, a lot of times Jordan wouldn't have to hit a lot of shots, and he still could hit you for 40 or 50. And this is how they do it. They know how to get you going in a direction to where you will contact them enough to where they can get to the foul line. And people have been complaining about, well, how can I not foul him? How can I not foul him? Oh, he's grabbing my arm. He's coming up under me. He's doing this. He's doing that. Well, there is a specific way that you can not stop from fouling him, but alleviate you being the initiator of the contact and it not being seeable that he's doing what he's doing. Now, I said I would hint to it, so I'm going to hint to it and I'm going to move on because I'm not going to give y'all a way to stop my guy, right? So, shout out to James Harden, the most creative offensive player in the world today. I want to shout out to James, MVP, and I want to also say that there's no way that Russell Westbrook can win the MVP due to the fact that he's not the most valuable player in the league. He just had a lot of numbers. So a lot of numbers don't necessarily make you the most valuable player. Here it is. So if you're getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar, that is because you have extended your hand into the cookie jar. Now, I'm going to say it just that. I'm not going to give you too much more than that this season. But if James Harden ever leaves the Rockets, I'll do a whole 3-second piece on how to stop James Harden. And y'all will be like, oh. But it all pertains to fundamental defense. You just play fundamental defense the way you was taught to play defense, and then when the referee calls the foul, you can go say blah 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 this, that, and the third, and then it'll start to create a trend to where the referees look for if you playing fundamental defense and is he playing fundamental offense, and it'll go to he's not playing fundamental offense, you're playing fundamental defense, and he blah 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 blah. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I just want y'all to know that I see it. I know it's other players, defensive players who say, okay, well, if I was doing this or that, the ref couldn't call that foul on me every time. He still would get to the line, half as many times. But a lot of times it's just one move that I think, you can adjust one part of your body. I'm just gonna say one part of your body you can adjust, and they will not be able to call a certain foul on you every single time. And let's just say you got to keep your hand out the cookie jar, and that's on you. So with that being said, I want to say players have to stop crying to the refs about not fouling the guy when you are obviously fouling him. You're impeding his progression. Your intention was to impede his progression. That's why you reached around the defensive player to contact him. Now, once you contact him, it's your fault. Quit contacting the man. Right? Now, if he contacts you, then what are you supposed to do? It's fundamental basketball, but who am I? I'm not a professional. I just watch the game all the time, and I just, sit back and analyze the game all the time. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily that everybody can do it, but I'm pretty sure I can pick 3 or 4 guys out the league, and I can say, you know what? Do this on James Harden. And when the referee calls the foul on you the first time, you go tell him that you did this, and tell him to watch this in action. And it'll change the way that referees officiate James Harden. Okay? All right.